Okay, so have you ever, like, stopped mid-sentence, completely unsure, wondering, should I say I lost my keys or I have lost my keys?
Oh, absolutely. Or, I went to Paris versus I've been to Paris.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It feels really confusing sometimes, doesn't it? But getting these two tenses right, the past simple and the present perfect, it's not just grammar rules. It's like
Well,
unlocking a code for speaking more precisely.
you're spot on. It really is.
So our mission today for this deep dive is to give you a real shortcut, not just memorizing stuff,
Yeah.
but actually getting the why behind them.
Yeah, and that confusion, it's super common. I mean, even for people who've been speaking English for a long time, they both talk about the past, that's true,
Right.
but how they relate to right now, the present moment. Totally different. It's almost like comparing a dusty history book to a live news feed.
Oh, I like that analogy.
And understanding that difference, it's not just about being correct. It's crucial for sounding natural and getting your exact meaning across. It leads to much greater precision and fluency.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. I kind of think of it as the closed chapter, the past simple. Imagine like a scene in a film that's totally finished, edited, run, put away. No loose ends hanging around. It's just over.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The past simple, it's for those completed actions or maybe states that happened at a specific known time in the past. And the really critical part, no direct connection, no influence, no continuation into the present. It's sealed off, a historical fact almost.
Got it. And the form, just quickly, it's usually that ed ending for regular verbs like walked, played,
Right.
and then there are those slightly tricky irregular ones you just have to learn. Went, saw, ate. That list.
Yes, regular. But what truly defines the past simple, fundamentally, that it's tied, like inextricably linked, to a definite point or period in the past. If you can ask when and get a clear answer, like
Yeah.
yesterday, last year, in 1999, 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
anything specific like that, then past simple is your tense. And that time doesn't even have to be explicitly stated with an adverb. It can be implied. Like, when Shakespeare wrote his plays, we know that's a finished period in the past, or
Yeah.
after the meeting ended. Again, the time frame is clearly closed.
So it's not just like putting a date on it, but the feeling that the whole event is contained back then.
Precisely. The action started and it definitively ended back then. There's no ongoingness about it, and this is super important. No direct connection to right now. The action itself or its immediate result doesn't stretch into the present. So if I say, I lost my keys yesterday.
Right, like the classic example.
Yeah, the act of losing. That happened yesterday. It's a done deal in the past. Now, okay, the keys might still be lost right now.
Which is where it gets confusing.
Exactly. But the losing itself is firmly anchored in that past moment yesterday. The verb tense focuses on the completed action.
Ah, okay. That distinction is crucial, isn't it? The action is complete. Even if the resulting state continues, that really helps clarify things.
It's probably the most common sticking point. And the past simple is also great for storytelling, narrating events in order.
Like a sequence.
Yeah. First, I woke up, then I had breakfast, and after that, I went to work. See? Each action follows the last, all completed. We also use it for old habits, routines that you don't do anymore.
Oh, right. Like,
When I was young, I always walked to school. That walking habit, it's firmly in the past. It's discontinued.
Okay, let's try some quick examples for you listening. I visited Paris last year. That trip, done.
Yep.
Finished.
Yep, closed chapter.
She finished her homework an hour ago. Over. Complete. They lived in London from 2000 to 2010. That specific period is finished. They don't live there now.
Right, the time frame is key.
And obviously historical stuff.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire fell in 476 AD. Clear, specific, definitely past.
Absolutely.
All right, so chapter closed on the past simple. But what if the past isn't quite so, past? What if it's still kind of echoing into the present?
Now we're talking present perfect.
Right. This feels like it's less about exactly when something happened and more about how it's relevant now. Is that fair?
That's exactly it. If the past simple is that faded photo, the present perfect is more like, maybe a connection that's still live, affecting your now.
Yeah.
It describes actions or states that maybe started in the past and are still going on.
Okay.
Or actions that happened at some unspecified time back then, but they have a clear result or connection to the present. The whole point is that ongoing relevance.
And the form is have or has plus, what was it, the past participle?
That's the one, like have seen, has eaten, have gone. Simple structure.
So you said the key is the connection to the present. That's really the heart of it.
It's everything. It's the defining feature. And this connection, it shows up in a few different ways. First, think of it as the experience tense.
Experience. How so?
We use it to talk about things you've done at any point in your life, up until this very moment. The time frame is essentially from birth until now. So I have traveled to many countries.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. It doesn't matter when you went to each country.
Exactly. The specific dates aren't the point. The point is that you have this experience as part of your life story now, or maybe she has never seen a live concert. That's also an experience, or lack thereof, up to now.
Right. It's about the accumulated experience, part of who you are today. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Good. Another major use. Actions that started back then and are still continuing right now. This really emphasizes the duration.
Yeah.
And you'll often see it with for or since.
Or and since, right.
Yeah, like, I have lived in this city for 5 years. That means I started 5 years ago, and guess what? I still live here. The
Yeah.
living hasn't stopped.
Okay. Still ongoing.
Or, it has been raining since morning. It started this morning. And look outside, it is still raining. The action continues.
Got it. That's pretty clear. The action literally carries on. But, okay, back to the keys. If I lost my keys yesterday, it's past simple. What about just, I've lost my keys? The losing part feels finished, right? So why isn't that past simple too? That one always gets me.
That's a fantastic question, and honestly, it's the perfect example of another really key use. Completed actions that have a present result.
Present result. Okay.
Yes, the action itself, the losing, it's finished. But its consequence, its impact, is being felt right now in the present. When you say, I have lost my keys, yeah, the losing is done, but the result is, I don't have them now, I can't open my door now. You're highlighting the current problem.
Okay. That's the aha moment for the keys. It's about the current situation, not just reporting the past event.
You nailed it. Or think about, she has broken her leg. The breaking happened maybe last week, maybe yesterday. But the result is her leg is still broken, or she's recovering now. The present state is directly linked to that past event.
That makes so much more sense now. Wow.
And we also use it for really recent things, often with little words like just, already, or yet. These naturally bridge the immediate past with the present impact.
Like,
I have just arrived. Meaning like a moment ago, and the result, I'm here now, maybe slightly out of breath.
huh.
She has already eaten, means she ate sometime before now, maybe sooner than expected. The result, she's not hungry now.
Gotcha. And there was one more use about changes over time.
Yes, exactly. Describing developments or transformations that have happened over a period leading up to the present, like the climate has changed a lot in the last decade. The change started then, and we're seeing the effects, or it's still ongoing now.
Or like technology has revolutionized communication.
Perfect example. The revolution started in the past, but its impact is massive and continues now.
Okay, so let's throw out some clear, present perfect examples for everyone. I have been to Rome 3 times. That's your life experience, right? Your travel history up to now.
Exactly.
He's bought a new car. The result, he owns it now.
Present consequence.
And asking a question like, have you ever eaten sushi? Again, asking about your life experience any time before this moment.
Spot on. Covers the main uses.
All right, this is crunch time. This is where it often gets tricky for people. We've kind of defined them both. But the big question is still, how do you choose? When you're actually talking or writing, what's the core decision you need to make? What's the real reason for picking one over the other?
Okay, let's boil it right down. The fundamental choice is this. Ask yourself, is the time of the action specific, and is that action totally finished, totally in the past, with no real connection to now? If yes, that's your past simple.
Okay, specific time, no present link, past simple.
Right. Or is there some link to the present? Is there a result now? Does it continue now? Is it an experience that's relevant now? Or is the exact time just not important or unknown, and the focus is really on the present relevance? If any of those are yes, you're leaning towards present perfect.
Link to present or unspecified time, present perfect. That's the core
We
principle.
have the heart of it.
Can we break that down even more? Like, what are the absolute clearest differences side by side?
Yeah, definite. Let's make a quick mental checklist. First, time focus. Past simple, specific, finished past time, think yesterday, last week. Present perfect, unspecified past time, or are in action happening in an unfinished time period like today or this week, always with an eye on now.
Okay, specific finished time versus unspecified or unfinished time. Got it.
Second, connection to present. Past simple, none. It's history. Done. Present perfect. Yes. There's a result, or it's still going on, or it's a life experience relevant now.
No connection versus yes connection. Clear.
Third, Signal words, adverbs, expressions. Past simple often uses those specific time markers.
Yeah.
Yesterday, last week, in 2020, 5 minutes ago. Present perfect uses words that often span up to the present or don't specify time. Ever, never, recently, just, yet, already, for, since. And importantly, often with unfinished periods like today, this week.
Right. The signal words are a big clue.
They really are. And fourth, common questions. If the question starts, when did you, or what did you do, or some, it's almost always asking for past simple information.
Because it wants a specific time.
Exactly. But if it's, have you ever, or how long have you? That's probing experience or duration up to now. That's present perfect territory.
Okay, that breakdown is super helpful. But let's really hammer it home with some direct comparisons. Seeing them side by side, that's where it clicks for me, and I bet for you listening too.
Perfect idea. Let's take those common pairs. Remember the wallet. If I say, I lost my wallet yesterday. Past simple. Why? Specific time yesterday. Finished, act of losing.
Just reporting a past fact.
Right. But if I say, I have lost my wallet, present, perfect, no specific time mentioned, and the focus shifts entirely to the current result, I don't have my wallet now. It's a present problem. See the shift.
Huge difference. One's a historical note, the other's like, help, I'm stuck. Okay, what about living somewhere?
Good one. I lived in New York for 5 years. Past simple. The strong implication is I don't live there anymore. That 5-year period, it's over. Closed. But I have lived in New York for 5 years. Present perfect. This means I started 5 years ago and I still live here now. The 5 years leads right up to the present.
Wow. Okay, that distinction is absolutely critical if you're, like, telling your life story or explaining your background.
Yeah.
And the movie example we touched on.
Right. Did you see the movie last night? Past simple. I'm asking about a specific event, seeing the movie, at a specific pastime last night.
Yes or no about last night?
Exactly. But have you seen that movie? Present perfect. I'm asking if you possess the experience of seeing it at any time up until now. The implication is more like, are you familiar with it? Can we talk about it?
Totally different questions, really, even though they seem similar. And then there's that tricky pair. Gone to versus been to. That confuses so many people.
Oh, yeah, the classic travel trap. Okay. He went to Brazil last month. Past simple. He traveled there. The trip happened. It's finished. Maybe he's back. Maybe he went somewhere else after. The trip itself is a completed past event.
Done and dusted.
Right. Now, he has gone to Brazil. Present perfect. This means he traveled there, and he is still in Brazil now. Or maybe he's on his way. The result is he's not here.
So, has gone means he's currently away.
Correct. But
Right.
he has been to Brazil. Also, present perfect, but this means he visited Brazil at some point in his life,
Right.
experience, and he has returned. He's not there now, but he has the experience of having visited.
So gone to, still there, been to, visited, and came back.
You got it. Those nuances are subtle, but they completely change the meaning.
Okay, this is gold. Now let's talk pitfalls. Where do people usually trip up? And crucially, how can you avoid those common mistakes? These are the pro tips, the shortcuts to sounding more natural.
Right, let's solidify this. Okay, rule number 1, the absolute biggest one. Do not, I repeat, do not use the present perfect if you mention a specific pastime.
This is the cardinal sin, right?
Pretty much. If you say, when it happened yesterday, last week, in 2018, at 3 p.m., you must use the past simple. So saying, I have seen him yesterday. Incorrect.
Should be.
I saw him yesterday. Simple as that. Or, we have visited Rome in 2018. Nope, it's we visited Rome in 2018. If the time is specific and finished, it forces the past simple.
Okay, that's a really clear rule. Specific time, past simple, locked in.
Lock it in, and remember those little words. Just, already, yet. They almost always signal a very recent action with a direct present result, which makes them perfect partners for the present perfect.
Remind us what they imply.
Just implies, like a moment ago, I've just finished. Already implies sooner than expected, she's already left. And yet means up to this point, and you usually find it in questions or negative sentences. Have you finished yet? No, I haven't finished yet.
Okay, useful markers. And what about those when questions?
Yeah.
You said they nearly always take past simple.
Almost without exception, because when is specifically asking for a past time point. You're seeking that timestamp. So asking when have you arrived just sounds wrong to a native speaker.
Because you want to know the specific time.
Exactly. So it has to be when did you arrive? You're asking about that completed action in the past.
Got it. Another really helpful tip, for me anyway, is thinking of finished versus unfinished time periods. That helped me a lot.
Oh, it's a fantastic mental shortcut, a great heuristic. If the time period you're talking about is finished like last year, yesterday, 10 minutes ago, the 20th century, use the past simple.
Makes sense. The period is closed.
Right. But if the time period is unfinished, meaning it includes the present moment like today, which isn't over yet, this week, this month, so far, then the present perfect is often the right choice because the action could still happen or is relevant within that ongoing time frame.
Can you give an example of that comparison?
Sure, compare. I didn't see him yesterday. Yesterday's finished, so past simple. Versus I haven't seen him today. Today is still happening. The possibility still exists within this time frame, so present perfect.
Yeah. Didn't see yesterday versus haven't seen today. That little check makes a big difference.
It really does. Saves a lot of confusion.
And isn't there also a slight kind of transatlantic difference? British versus American English.
There is, yeah. It's usually quite minor, and both are perfectly understood, but it's worth knowing. Especially with just already and yet. Sometimes American English speakers might default to the past simple, where British English speakers would typically use the present perfect.
Like how?
Well, a British speaker would almost always say, have you eaten yet? An American speaker might say, did you eat yet? Or, I've just arrived, BE, versus I just arrived, AE. Again, both are fine, just a slight regional preference. Don't stress too much about it.
Okay, good to know, though. So if we had to wrap this all up, boil it down to one single piece of advice.
It would have to be. Context is king, seriously.
Yeah.
Always think about the context. Why are you mentioning this past action? What's your reason? Is it just a historical fact telling a story about something completely finished? Pastsimple.r. Are you explaining a current situation, talking about an ongoing state, sharing a life experience that's relevant now, or highlighting a result that affects the present? Then you need the present perfect. That why is your ultimate guide. You know, if we look at the bigger picture, really getting a handle on the present perfect and past simple, it just takes practice, consistent practice, and really tuning into the function of the tense in that specific situation. Listening for that intent, that subtle link or lack of link to the present moment, that's where true precision comes from.
Absolutely. And look, with all these insights we've unpacked today, you are genuinely so much better equipped now. You can go out there and express yourself with way more precision, way more confidence. So here's a little challenge. As you go about your day, start actively listening for these tenses. You'll hear them in conversations, on TV and articles. Notice when people use past simple and when they use present perfect, and ask yourself why. You'll start seeing the patterns everywhere. You've totally got this. Go use your English with newfound clarity.